YouTube, what's going on? Appreciate y'all watching my videos. What's going on? They call me Mr. 5,000 a week. They call me Mr. 5,000 a week. They call me Mr. 5,000 a week. Mr. 5,000 a week. Every week. Hey, they call me Mr. 5,000 a week. They call me Mr. 5,000 a week. Mr. 5,000 a week. Every single week. Hey, they call me Mr. 5,000 a week. I know. A lot of you guys that be running reefer, I know y'all be doing 7, 8, 9,000 a week, but I'm pulling a dry van. Okay. I know that's chump change to y'all reefer guys, but I'm pulling the dry van. So they call me Mr. 5,000 a week. Yeah, what's going on, dude? What's going on? City, side trucker, what's going on? Milkman, what's going on? So, appreciate y'all watching my videos. Why don't I pull reefer? I don't know. I don't know. That's just not, I ran reefer for a little while when I was a company driver, but I haven't pulled a lot of reefer. I think. Let me see. I'm trying to think. I think I pulled reefer for about a year as a company driver, but the bulk of my career has been driving. So, but what's going on? But yeah, I thought about buying a reefer. I'll probably do it sometime in the future. I got to figure out my parking situation because if I buy a reefer, then I got to figure out how to park these trailers and right now I'm just doing other things. I'm trying to get some things straightened out, some financial situations straightened out, trying to get my rental property straightened out and trying to get some finances straightened out. Y'all be a trip. Somebody gave me a super chat, man. Appreciate that. Y'all a trip. $2.99, a $2.99 super chat. Trip. But I mean, to be honest, I ain't really have nothing. I y'all know I always making videos talking about stuff, business, real estate, investing, running your truck, stuff like that. But this video, the title that I put on this video, I didn't have no title. I just, I ain't really have nothing on my mind I wanted to talk about. I'm sure some things on my mind, but I really can't, I'm sure some things on my mind. Everybody don't make $5,000 a week. I know a lot of people don't make $5,000 a week. But I bump into guys who make more than $5,000 a week. But when you're in trucking, you gotta understand. Trucking for those who are not in the transportation business, truckload transportation. You gotta understand, trucking is a business that it's not a salary type job. It's an activity based type job. You get what you put into it. So if you don't get out the bed in the morning, you ain't gonna make no money. That's just how trucking works. Generally. About 89% of trucking works that way. You know. And then you got the few jobs out there that pay by the hour, and you know, you can drag your ass around, but you don't make no money. You don't make no money doing that. I talk to guys all the time and they boast about their job or they boast about their trucking situation, but they ain't making no money. Like I bump into guys, you know, they be like, man, I make $20 an hour. That ain't no money, dog. I mean, you making money, you can pay your bills, but me personally, that ain't no money, dog. $25, $30 an hour is decent, but it ain't no real money. Like, cause I be talking to guys. I don't know who this phone number is. If it's important, they'll leave a voicemail. I be talking to guys, and like I gotta be careful who I get in a conversation with, because my mindset is way on a different. I'm way in a different hemisphere, and so I be talking to guys, and like they want to get in the back and forth with me. I have to shut the conversation down because we talking about two different things. We get in the back and forth, but we talking about two different things for real. Like, you know, I'm trying to make 100,000, 150,000. I'm trying to make six figures. I'm trying to get a $500,000, $1 million. You can't get that making $20, $30 an hour. You just can't. That's chump change, man. You know, you can't make the kind of moves I want to make making $1,000 a week, dog. 1,100, 1,200 a week. 1,000 a week, 11, 12, $1,300 a week. That's working class money. And I'm not trying to slap nobody in the face. I'm not trying to degrade nobody for what they do for a living. I'm not trying to do that. Just understand that we not thinking alike. Because you got some guys that got their own truck or trailer comfortable with making 1,000 a week. They'll gross 2,000 gross with their own truck or trailer, $2,000. After expenses, they take home 1,100, 1,200, 800, and that's perfectly cool with them. But just understand that ain't enough money for me, and it has nothing to do with my liabilities, my responsibilities, my bills. Because to be honest, I'm sure my bills is lower than any of you guys that's watching my videos. And I'm married, and my wife got a job. Okay. Like if I wanted to, I could just stay home and my wife can pay all the bills and I'll be good. She make a good enough income, she can pay all the bills and we'll still be good. You get what I'm saying? And you know, I was about to go on a side rant, but I had to catch myself so I could stay on topic. So I guess I'm making a topic here. The topic just came out of nowhere. But so I'm watching the red light. I'm at this place getting loaded. So I be talking to guys. I be talking to guys in my family. I be talking to guys like out here random. I be bumping the guys because people know me. They watch my videos. I go to a place, pick up a load. I go to a truck stop. Hey, 404, what's going on, man? Get a conversation with guys. I don't mind talking to y'all. So, I'm just a regular dude. I'm a regular dude. That's it. I ain't nobody. Ain't nobody, man. But anyway, so you just gotta understand we're going in two different directions. Let me give y'all an example. I've been talking about some of my personal business, talking about my finances, right? Like, yeah, I got 50,000 cash in the bank, blah blah blah. I say that because it's not no money. It's a lot of money to me, and it's a lot of money to a lot of people. But when you look out here in the universe, and you look out here, if you look out into the universe and you down your street block, you drive down the street, you walk down the street, you gotta understand this place that I'm getting loaded at, it's probably like this warehouse is probably worth like 20, 30 million, right? When you go into a shipper or receiver and you come in there and you see all these trailers, they got rows and rows of trailers, rows and rows of trailers. When you put that into perspective, like each one of them trailers is about 20,000 a piece, 25,000 a piece. And they're like 200 trailers at this property, right? They're like 200 trailers, just the trailers, then the freight that's in the trailers, the warehouse, the employees that's working here. And then when you start to see like all this, when you go to the corner store, you go out here on your street block and you look in your neighborhood and it's like 300 houses in your neighborhood. Each house is about 200,000 a piece, 150,000 a piece. When you start adding them numbers up and you look at how much money you make, that ain't no money, dog. If you don't have enough money to be able to make real moves, you ain't got no money. If you can't afford to buy a house cash without thinking about it, if you don't have enough money to pay cash for a $30,000 car and just be like, yeah, I want that one and be done with it. If you sweating over monthly payments, you sweating over insurance, how much insurance costs, you sweating over tires and all that small stuff. Once you start getting around people that's going out here making real moves and like really making moves, you start to understand that 50,000, 1,000 a week ain't no money. You can't do nothing. You can't do nothing with that. You can buy groceries, pay your rent, and hang out on the weekend. And that's about it. That's all 1,000 a week gonna get you. That's all $20, $30 an hour gonna get you. You ain't gonna have no fabulous lifestyle. You're gonna have a regular, mediocre, working class lifestyle. You ain't struggling, but you ain't raking it in like Jeff Bezos. Okay? Like Jeff Bezos, he can spend $1 billion and won't even bat an eye. See, that's real money. You can make some moves. You can buy whole countries. you can save the homeless. And like, for example, like with Bill Gates is spending his time helping the corona and stuff like that. Like that's real stuff that you can contribute to. You sitting up here sweating bullets about your little $12, $13 an hour, $1,200, $1,300 a week, man. That ain't no money, man. And so that's what I mean. That's what I mean. And so when I come on my videos and I be talking about $5,000 a week, I'd say that to amp y'all up, because you gotta see real money out here. Once you start to make money to where you can make some real moves, then you start to understand, like, damn, like this This 1,000 a week junk is a bunch of bull, man. You want to be making $20,000 or $30,000 a week, man. That's real money, man. You can buy houses cash. You can save 6 months and pay for a house cash. That's real money there. That's real money. Real money is the type of money where you can go and make some real moves with it. You know how long it'll take you to save up $150,000, $100,000 to pay for a house cash if you're making $1,000 a week? You know, if I really tried, I could probably save up $100,000 in a year. If I save every single dollar, I could probably save up $100,000 a year. You get what I'm saying? And like that's what I would, because I got, and so like, you know, I got into it with a subscriber. I don't know if he's a subscriber or a viewer. And he was like, man, since you got 50,000, why don't you stay home? That don't make sense, dog. The fact that I don't go home as much as I should is the reason why I got it. And I invest. Okay, you have to invest, man. You put your money in places where the money's gonna come back to you, and it's gonna take a lot of weight off your back. If your only income is from one source, then you gotta multiply. You gotta multiply your money. You gotta compound your money. You gotta invest a little bit of time over here, invest a little bit of time over here, invest a little bit of time over here, invest a little bit of time over here. Before you know it, you got multiple streams of income. I mean, I can stay home and still get an income. I'm just looking at, I was like, damn, I have enough passive income that, I mean, technically, I was thinking about it. I was going through my finances. I was looking at my numbers. I was like, damn, I'm almost out the rat race. Technically, I'm almost out the rat race. I was looking at some of my income sources, and I was like, damn, I'm getting a check here, 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 and here. I got almost $3,000 a month coming in that I don't work for. And I was like, damn, I'm almost out the rat race. I started smiling. And like, the thing is, I come out here in truck because I want to, and I need to, and I got to. You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's like I was getting into it with a subscriber, and he was like, man, since you got all the money, I'm like, dude, 50,000, 60,000 ain't no money. It ain't no money. That's why I say it. That's why I talk about it so loosely. That's why I talk about it like whatever, because it ain't no money. It's not. It's not. I know to some of y'all watching the video, it might be. But if you got a truck and trailer, you got multiple businesses, yes, you need to have some cash on hand, dog. One of my tenants can call me and say, hey, the house on fire. I could be driving down the road under a load and my truck can blow up. And so you don't have no money in the bank? I can get in an accident and go through a lawsuit. And you better have some goddamn money in the bank. I mean, tires on this truck cost $400 a piece, man. The hell wrong with you? And like, y'all, it's like a lot of y'all don't get it. A lot of y'all do not get it. You don't get it. A lot of y'all, so you got that tunnel vision, and you's like, okay, all I got to do is make 1,000 a week or 500 a week. That ain't no goddamn money. 1,000 a week just gets you your 1,000 a week gets your minimum life expenses. Hold on, y'all. Who this? Hold on. Checking out this email from this broker. Hold on. Nah. Got an email about a load. It don't look like nothing I want. So, when I come on here, like I don't be trying to boast. I hope y'all feel what I'm saying. I'm not trying to boast, not trying to brag. I talk about stuff like that to motivate y'all, to get y'all to understand that it's bigger than it's out. The stuff, what's out here is bigger, man. It's bigger. There are millionaires walking around you and you don't even know it. You know, there are millionaires walking around, you don't even know it. I don't dress like a millionaire. And you know, like guys feel like in order to have money, like you gotta look like you have money. Like that's stupid. That's just dumb, man. Like what the hell, man? Like that don't even make no sense. It don't make no sense. But but I'm sitting here, man. Like I'm just sitting here, and I'm like, man. I'm looking at my income streams, and I'm like, wow. I got almost $3,000 a month coming in without working. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. I never thought I'd be able to get to this point to be able to look in my checking account and there's money just dropping in there without me working an hour. It's, you know, it's just like, wow. And you know, I want to get that number bigger. I want to get it to about 10 to 15,000. Y'all can do it. I'm not sitting up here like bragging, like, you know, chipping my own shoulder. Yeah, I'm the shit. No, dog. Y'all see my journey here. I got 500 videos in my catalog, man. 500-600 videos in my catalog. Y'all can go back and watch my journey, man. I got videos working on my rental properties on here. I got videos talking about investing. I got videos running my truck. I be tired. I'm tired right now. But you know what? I got a vision. I'm trying to be like Dave Ramsey and pay cash for a $60 million building. You know? You know what I mean? Like, I want to leave a legacy. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like I want to leave a legacy. Like the average person, when they die, they don't have no assets. They worked at a job for 30 years, 40 years. All they got is their apartment that they rented and they clothes in the closet. That's it. They don't have no assets. They don't leave back nothing. They don't leave back no IRA accounts, no rental properties, no artwork, no jewelry that's worth some money. I'm not talking about little rings, gold rings and whatnot. I'm talking about some real valuable goods that you can hand down that's worth something. Have no assets or nothing. You know what I mean? Like, and like I get on these videos trying to inspire y'all, put out some information about things, you know, especially my truck drivers, especially my doggone truck drivers. We work too doggone hard to not have nothing. Be running up and down the road for 20, 30, 40 years. Be running down the road. To be running up and down the road for 30, 40 doggone years and you don't have nothing to show for it but an old raggedy tore up truck and trailer in the yard and back problems and a pot belly, that don't make no sense, man. You got to pay yourself first. You pay everybody else, but you don't pay yourself. You run up in the road trying to pay the bank and the light bill and all this junk. Man, fuck them, man. Fuck them. Pay yourself first, okay? Make no sense. Y'all gonna get me on the rant. Y'all gonna get me on the rant. Big Chris said I'm grossing 12K this week. Gotta be willing to go where other people won't. Started at Lancaster, Texas. I'm in Rancho Cucamonga. Loaded, headed back to Pasadena, Texas, then back to the A. Hey man, get it. Get it. Get it. I'm glad you getting it. Get it. But you know what? Getting that money is all great. But I hope you invest in it. Please invest. Rental properties, mutual funds. I don't care what it is. There's a lot of other investments out there. It's just real estate and stock markets. You know, the only thing that I know to this point that is long term, that can give long term residuals. So, I mean, there's a lot of things you can invest in out here. You can invest in commodities. You can invest in, commodities. You can invest in, like cattle, farmland. It's a lot of ways you can invest out here. You can invest in oil and, all that stuff. But that's getting into like deep. That's getting into like the deep stuff. But to keep it simple, invest in something. That's it. I mean, if you made 12K in a week, you make 12K in a week. There's no way on this planet Earth that you need to spend all 12K on yourself. Your bills, my bills at the house don't even break 1,500-1,600 a month. I'm gonna say my bills don't even break $2,000 in a week. That's between me and my wife. Okay. Okay, and so between me and my wife, our bills don't even break 2,000. Don't even break 2,000. And so between the two of us, we make piles of money. And so I use that as an example. So Big Chris, if you can make 12K in a week, you need to buy you a rental property. I mean, you really only need, I say 50. You can keep 2,000 for yourself, and then the rest of it can just pile up in the bank until you can go buy you a duplex, man, or you can buy you a 4 or 5 unit apartment building. You talking about a small apartment building, not when I say apartment building, that word, but we talking about a 4 or 5 unit. Or at least you can put down on one. I mean, if you can constantly do 10 every week, if you can look at those numbers and look at the lanes that you're running, if you can constantly do 10, at least 10, because some weeks you ain't gonna do that much. Some weeks gonna be high, low, high, low, high, low. But as if you can average 10 a week, if you actually making that kind of money, dog, you can keep 2,000 for walking around spending money, so you can eat and go about your life, and then pay your truck expenses. I think you got your own truck and trailer. Pay your truck expenses. I mean, you can take home at least 8. You can put back. If you can do that every week, I mean, in 6 months you can buy you in about 12 months you can probably buy you a $300,000. You can buy you a $300,000 apartment building if you are actually making that kind of money. Because I know some guys be coming on here talking junk. They don't really be making the money that they be saying. But I'm just using that example. Because I know, like myself, when I come out here, my goal is to make at least $5,000 a week. For me to leave my house and leave my wife by herself at the house and all this, and to come out here, if I ain't doing $5,000 a week, it ain't working. That's how I feel about it. If I'm gonna come out here and waste my time chasing these loads, getting into traffic and all this junk, and if I'm gonna sit up here and do all that, my minimum is $5,000 a week. I don't hit it all the time, but sometimes it's 6,000, sometimes it's 5,500, sometimes it's 4,800, sometimes it's 5,200, sometimes it's 5,800, sometimes it's 6,000. And so because this right here, this shit right here gets old. This shit gets old. And you can only do this for so long. And you need to be putting money back and be putting it into investments that's paying you monthly income without you working, and to where you got enough money coming in, $4,000 or $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month coming in without you working. And so when it's time for you to walk away from this junk, you good. You good. You give them the middle finger. You give them the middle finger. And what I mean when I give them the middle finger, I mean the regime. Because essentially, when you running down the road, you're trying to fight the regime. You fighting brokers. You fighting traffic. You fighting shippers and receivers. You fighting the DOT. You fighting the police. You fighting somebody could break in your truck. It's like you just constantly got all this stuff as a truck driver. You got all this stuff against you. Your truck can catch on fire. You can blow a tire. You can get in an accident. It's just all this stuff that you fight. You just got this truck driver just got this target on our back all the time, man. And it's just like for you to do all of that for 20, 30 years and not have something, it's all gone shame. I don't even know what else to say. Chuck of B11 say, been watching you from the beginning. You came a long way, bro. I'm proud of you. Yeah, man. I'm just trying to give back and inspire guys, because I can make all the stupid videos, but I don't feel comfortable making them kind of videos. Tesla stock gonna split in August. Yeah. I figured it was gonna do that. I figured it was gonna do that because they're coming out with that new car. They're coming out with that new car. That's what they do. Apple stocks split. So Big Chris said I'm invested in the market, and I just became mostly debt free. I'm paying on car next week, one by November. Yeah, man, that's good. What's a good place to buy a used truck? Um, that's a good question. I mean, you can buy a truck anywhere, but I mean, to me, I'm a strategist because starting a business, essentially, when you're buying a truck, you're starting a business. You gotta understand what you're doing. You're starting a business. Okay, it's risk involved. You stepping out and you taking on some risk. You're banking that this truck is. You need the truck to move the freight, and so you're banking that this truck is gonna hold itself to be able to make you money. Without the truck, you can't make no money. So you got to be real diligent and not get ahead of yourself and get in a hurry. Because every truck that you see ain't a good truck. Just because a salesman selling a truck, that don't mean you should buy it. Okay? Just like when you book, just like you pull it, book, if you calling the broker on a load, every load that you call, every load on that load board, that don't mean you need to be booking it. You need to have criteria. You need to have system in place. Okay, you need to have what the word I'm looking for. You need to have an understanding on what's going on. So when I'm just using an example, like when you're looking at a truck, you need to understand, okay, when you're looking at this truck, what are you gonna be doing with this truck? Are you gonna be pulling dry van, or what you gonna be doing? If you're gonna be pulling dry van, okay, it needs to have a sliding fifth wheel. Okay. It needs to have a 10-speed transmission, or just certain requirements. You don't need no Peterbilt with a 600 cat in it. You don't need all that. A 600 cat ain't gonna make you more money. A 600 cat ain't gonna make you no more money than a 400 horsepower Detroit. Okay. And so you got to be careful who you talk to about this stuff. You go to these dealerships, you start talking to guys, man, I'll get a Peterbilt. Oh man, it's like you talking to guys that are not thinking business. Okay, you got to think business. Get your notepad and write down a list of things that you want to do before you even start looking at trucks. Because then once you got a list down, you start writing the list down. It's like, okay, I want to be pulling dry van, pulling general freight, warehouse, going to warehouses and stuff. Okay, that narrows it down. That narrows it down for the type of truck you're gonna be looking at. I mean, really, you can't go wrong with a Freightliner. A Freightliner or an International. Freightliner with a Detroit in it, or an International with a Cummins in it. Okay? Those two trucks, you can't go wrong. Then you got some fanboys be like, oh, I like Volvo and all that. I like Peterbilt. Again, we talk about business. It's business first. Business. 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 Freightliner and International, they got the lowest cost of operation. You go get in the Peterbilt, that's a Cadillac truck, basically. And that truck is going to cost you 20 to 30% more money above a Freightliner. Do you want to throw away 30% more just because you got a Peterbilt? That's not business sense. It's not going to make you more money. Okay, every time you go to the shop, every time you go get parts, and shop stuff is going to be 20 to 30% more. 20 to 30% more. Okay. Do you want to give away 20 to 30% more just because? It's up to you. So you got some people that stand by their Peterbilt. You got some guys that stand by they Volvo. But I'm just saying. And so once you get all that out of the way, you got a list. Now you're building the criteria. You're building a criteria. You build a criteria. And so now when you go to the dealership, now you got a list of things what you want to look for. Okay, I'm looking for an International or a Freightliner with a 10-speed with 355 rears and 355 rears, or I want 247 rears with X, Y, and Z. Or I want, because these trucks out here, they spec'd all kind of ways. And so I want a Freightliner with a DD15 or a DD13, or I want an automatic. Personally, I wouldn't suggest getting on a truck with no automatic because it's new technology, and anytime you're messing with new technology, it's going to cost you more money. Just get a 10-speed. It's tried and true. They're easy to work on, ain't not complicated. Get a 10-speed. Be done with it. Stop being lazy. Okay? Trucking ain't a lazy job. Okay? Get a 10-speed. Get a 10-speed, man. Get a 10-speed. 13-speed. Either 10-speed or 13-speed. Can't go wrong with them. They're the most common transmission out here. And so once you build your criteria, now you can go out here and shop. Now you got an idea what to look for. Like I said, I think the best place to get a truck is through a leasing company. That way it allows you to try the truck out. Go to MHC leasing, or I'm trying to think of some leasing companies that lease trucks. PACCAR, lease, or whatever. Well, that's Peterbilt. I don't recommend Peterbilt. I mean, if you can get a Peterbilt, hey, go get a Peterbilt. But I'm just saying, find a leasing company that's got a lease where it's got a balloon on the end or option to buy on the back of it. So you got a 1-year lease, an 18-month lease or something like that. You do a 1-year lease, you run the truck for a while, and then you can decide whether you want to buy the truck or not. Because when you go out here and you buy a truck, you banking that this truck ain't gonna break down. Once you buy the truck, it's yours. Some guys be like, I pay cash for a truck. I'm like, dog, you pay cash for a truck you don't know nothing about? That's stupid. That's stupid. It's stupid. Sign up. Like, you can take that truck and have mechanics look at it for 20 days. It still don't take away the fact that you haven't ran the truck yet. You haven't ran the truck for an extended amount of time. So, but anyway, that's how I would go and get a truck. I would go and get a truck through somewhere where you can try the truck out. And, try the truck out for a period of time, either on a lease or something like that, a lease purchase or a lease option to buy. So that's my opinion. So you can run the truck, and then in the contract, it'll have some stuff in the contract saying that, okay, if something goes wrong with the truck while you have it, you can turn the truck in, you can trade it on for another one. You're not committed. You're not locked down to this truck. Okay? I hate to sit up here and tell a guy, yeah, go over here and get this truck. And you put your hard-earned money, $10,000 down, $10,000 down on this truck. And then as soon as you pull off the lot, the truck start breaking down. I talk to guys about this all the time. bought the doggone truck, ain't pulled one load. They bobtailing to the house, the truck breaking down. They just left the dealer. I know some guys, that work for some guys. You just got lucky. You just got fucking lucky. Some guys, they went to a dealership, got a truck, drove off, no problem. Start making money, no problem. You got lucky. Nobody talks about the other side of the coin where you go to the dealership, you had a mechanic look at the truck and everything. You paid a mechanic $200-300 to look at the truck. He took 2-3 hours to look at the truck. He found a few things, but nothing big. He said, okay, this is a good truck, I will buy it. You bought the truck. 2 weeks later, truck breaking down. And see, that's the kind of junk I don't want guys to get caught up in. And so, in my opinion, take your time, do some research, and find some companies out here that got a lease purchase program. Snyder got a lease purchase program. You got MHC. Like Snyder's a carrier, but you got MHC. They do equipment leasing. MHC. Okay, you got MHC, Ryder, Ideal Leasing. You got Ryder, Ideal Leasing. I'm trying to think of some other companies. It's a bunch of companies out here. You can check out some dealerships, some truck dealerships out there where they do in-house leasing. That's how I would buy a truck. That's how I would buy a truck. You run that truck for a year, however their lease term is. Run it for a year, 2 years, however they have it. And in the leasing agreement, you need to make sure something in the lease agreement says that if the truck breaks down, you can bring it in, no harm, no foul. You can turn it in, or you can switch it out for another one or something like that. You're not locked down to the truck. So that's how I would buy a truck. So I know some guys gonna be in here and they're gonna be like, nah, man, nah, fo, you don't know what you're talking about. Okay, cool. Fine. Big Chris say, I'm leased to a mega carrier too. I caught a unicorn load to Arizona for $7K. Almost fainted. Then they got me a broker load for $4,700 to Cali. That's right, man. Get that money. Get it. Right. But sometimes the money just draw you out there. I had one of them crazy weeks. Last week. The last 2 weeks, I had a crazy week like that. I did 6,000 like 2 weeks in a row. Like bam, bam. I was like, wow, that's crazy. This week, I'm just gonna have a $5,000 week this week. It's just gonna be 5,000 this week, 5,100 or something like that. So far, good stuff, man. I haven't used my authority since 2009. Process is getting reinstated. Yo, can I get financing for the residual of such my truck? You just got to do some research. You can check out credit union or your credit union or your or community bank. They'll do it. The big banks, they ain't gonna touch it. Bank of America, they ain't gonna touch it. Wells Fargo ain't gonna touch it. You gotta go through either your credit union or a local community bank. You have a better chance. Or you can find a private equity bank like Cabbage. Cabbage will finance you. Cabbage, um, maybe even PayPal. You can probably get financing through PayPal. Trying to think of some other companies that do um, business financing. Trying to think of some others, but you just have to do some research. That's all. Just do some research and work hard at getting your credit, get your credit score up, get your credit straightened out. You want to get above a 720. You get above a 720, you have a good chance of getting approved. Because even though it's for business, they're gonna look at your personal. Okay, you're gonna have to personally guarantee the note and give them collateral for the truck. So um, that's my suggestion on that. So that you got to put some work. You got to put some work in. I mean, it's business, man. Truck paid off, crib almost paid off. God is great, California. That's right, man. Congratulations, man. I'm happy for you. Get that house paid off. Once you get that house paid off, you done, dog. You done. And all you got to do is just pile up some money for retirement, in an IRA or 401k or something like that. And then you just passing time. That's it. You just passing time, man. I mean, depending on how much you got left on your house, I wouldn't be throwing a ton of cash at a house because that's a big chunk of money. You can make more money in the stock market, or you can make more money in rental properties that'll pay your house payment. But hey, that's just my opinion. Because you can make 15-20% in an investment, and that 15-20% will pay your mortgage for you instead of just paying off your mortgage first. It's just a better use of the money. It's better use of money. It's just a better articulation of the money. Okay? You don't want to work so hard to pay off your mortgage and then you be so far in age where you don't have no time for compounding investing to work. Okay? You need time. But I mean, that's good. I mean, if you got paid for a house and $500,000 in a mutual fund, you good. 500,000 could give you about $30,000-$40,000 a year in income. That's plenty of money, dog. That's plenty. That's $3,000 a month. With a pay for a house, pay for cars in the yard. All you gotta do is pay the light bill, and utilities, pay light bill and taxes. That's it. And groceries. That's it. That's good. That's good financial planning, man. That's real good financial planning. Real good. That's good, man. That's real good, man. Stay up on that. That's real good. Right. I guess y'all talking about I had to catch up on some of these comments. Okay, Freightliner always been my truck of choice. 2015 Cascadia. Yeah. Peterbilts, they don't do nothing but hog up a bunch of fuel. That's right. Because when you're going down the road and you got air going around your truck, that's why Freightliners and Kenworths, the T680s, they're shaped the way that they shape. It helps the air. It smooths out the air going around the truck. You got these Peterbilts. You got 379s. They got all this stuff hanging off the truck. You got the air breather all hanging off. You got pipes hanging off, and you got that billboard hood in the front. It ain't doing nothing but grabbing air. And them trucks, they get like 5 miles to the gallon. You ain't doing nothing but throwing money away. It don't make no sense to me. It don't make no sense to me. You just throwing away money. You just throwing away money. It don't make no sense to me. None. I mean, it don't make financial sense to me. Let me say that. Because some guys, they don't mind throwing away 30, 40 grand a year in fuel. They don't mind. But, you know, that's the difference between a businessman and a truck driver. So I couldn't do it. I couldn't, going through my spreadsheets, I couldn't look at them numbers and accept that's okay. I couldn't look at my spreadsheet. Damn. Good thing I spent $30,000 more on fuel this year. Woo! 30 grand, I can put that in the stock market. 30 grand, I can put that in a rental property. That don't make no sense to be throwing away money just to be throwing it away. That's just stupid to me. I don't know. It's just stupid to me. Financially, anyway. Some guys just like their Peterbilt. They don't care how much it costs. Stupid. I leased my truck through Prime Inc. Paid it off a year early. Sole driver just trying to motivate. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Because Prime, they take care of their trucks. Okay? When you leased on the Prime, they take care of their trucks. Okay? When you take your truck in to the shop at Prime, they'll take care of you. You get what I'm saying? And so while you leased on to them, it's a good time to make sure your truck is maintained, because once you get the truck paid off, and if you want to step out here and get your own authority, or if you want to stay with Prime or whatever the case may be, you know you're going to have a solid truck. You get what I'm saying? Milkman said, can I borrow some money? You a trip, man. You a trip. Self-made said, where can I get finance for the... Yeah, I already told you about that. How you feel about Lone Mountain? Lone Mountain, I heard good and bad about Lone Mountain. I never did business with Lone Mountain, but I heard good and bad at Lone Mountain. I heard some good stories at Lone Mountain, Lone Mountain good, blah, blah, blah. I got a truck through them, blah, blah. And then I heard some other stuff. Lone Mountain stole my money. Lone Mountain this. Don't go with Lone Mountain. They garbage, blah, blah, blah. It's good and bad. But what I would say, if you buy a truck through Lone Mountain, make sure it's got a warranty. And make sure that if there are catastrophic issues with the truck within because some of the paperwork on when you buy a truck has got like a 60-day, 90-day, a 60-day, 90-day warranty on it, so to speak. So if certain things happen with the truck, you get free towing, you get, they'll pay for repairs on the truck and stuff like that. That's what happened when I got my truck through Snyder. Snyder gave me, I think it was like 45 days of free repairs on the truck. So anything that happens within the 30 to 45, I forgot, I don't know if it's 30 or 45 days. So anything that happens with the truck in 30 to 45 days, they'll pay for it. Okay. And so when I first got this truck, my starter went out, and that was like $1,000. Snyder paid for it. So that's not a big deal, $1,000, but at the same time, you want, when you go in there and buying these trucks, you got to make sure the paperwork has got some stuff in there. You know, I wouldn't buy a truck through Lone Mountain, but if you're gonna buy one through Lone Mountain anyway, because I know some of y'all hard headed, y'all ain't gonna listen to me. You know, you need to make sure, you need to read the contract, the sales order that you buy. You need to read that and make sure it's got stuff in there that's allowing you to return the truck within a certain amount of time if something happens to it. That's what I I would be looking for if you're gonna buy a truck at Lone Mountain. But I heard good and bad at Lone Mountain, so I mean it ain't. Bush Leasing. I never heard about Bush Leasing. Well, basically, all these leasing companies are the same. You just need to make sure it's the stuff I just said in my video. It's the same stuff I just said. Make sure that it's got clauses in the leasing agreement that's going to allow you to walk away from it, or they won't hold you to mechanical issues of the truck. Okay, if catastrophic issues go down to the truck, the motor blow up or something like that, it should have some stuff in there that's basically saying you can return the truck, no harm, no foul. It'll be a harmless. It'll be like a harmless something clause in there, something like that. I forgot what it's called. A lot of contracts have that in there. So if you want to return it for whatever the reason may be, turn it in. They may charge you a little fee, $2,000 or $3,000, but that's fine. I'd rather be charged $2,000 or $3,000 than to be on a hook for $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 junk truck, lemon truck. Okay. I would pay $3,000 any day of the week than to be on the hook for a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 lemon truck. Okay. That's just my opinion. A lot of guys be like, nah, man, they're going to charge you to turn the truck in. Okay. $3,000, $4,000 or $5,000. Fine. You pay that money because it lessens your risk. It brings your risk down. So if you got $40,000 of capital in front of you and you put $3,000 or $4,000 down to lease a truck, and then they take that lease, they take that money that you put down, that's just the cost of doing business. But you like I've been saying before, you got guys out here, they don't think like a business. They think rational. They don't think, they don't think, Unlimited transporting say, what are the rates of like 2,500 to 3,000 miles a week? If you got your own truck and trailer and you running 2,500 to 3,000 miles in a week, you should be grossing minimum $6,000 a week. Minimum. I mean, most guys who got their own truck, they don't run based on miles. But if you are running those kind of miles with your own truck and trailer, yeah, you need to be making upwards of 5,500 to 6,000 a week or more. You looking in that 5 to 7 range, because you might hit a spot of some nice loads that pay well. So you looking in that 5 to 7 range, 5 to, I say 5,500 to 7,500 range. You might hit a pocket of good paying loads, so that's why it's a range like that, Trucking experts say you lose 10K a year driving a Pete. I guess. I mean, I do a lot of reading. I read like a lot of forums, trucking report. I read articles and I read stuff, and so I read like truck mechanic type articles, and I read different things, and like I'm just telling y'all the things that I read and the stuff that I experienced in my business and stuff that I talk to other guys when they other truck. So like if I talk to a guy and he got a Peterbilt and it costs him $1,500 to get repairs done, but it only costs me $800-900 to get repairs done, $700 to get the same repairs done in the same shop. Yeah, you spending 20-30% more on repairs. I mean, that's just what it is. A no fault clause, yeah, it's harmless. It's some kind of harmless. It's harmless, no fault, something like that. 270 mile, or something like that. Yeah, that's about right. $2 a mile is my minimum, and when I say $2 a mile, that's like all miles. That's me deadheading home and everything. Every mile my truck moves, that's $2 a mile. That's kind of how I look at it. When I take my truck to the shop to get worked on, or if I take my truck to to get a truck wash or something like that, or I'm talking about all miles. I'm talking about miles that I pull off my hub, not what the load pay. I'm talking about because I keep the hub from January 1st all the way to December 31st. Now I'll put that hub down and I'll keep track of my hub for the whole year. And I do gross revenue divided by miles that I did for the whole year. That gives me my gross miles per mile, so to speak. And so that's how I come up with my number. And so I've been hovering right around $2 a mile. Sometimes it'd be $195 a mile, $205 a mile, $210 a mile, $220 a mile. But that's where I want to, that's giving me an indication of performance and what my truck is doing. Some guys, they're going to hype themselves up and they're going to lie to you. Like, man, I get $4 a mile. But you get $4 a mile for one load that goes 100 miles or something. I'm talking about all miles that your truck moves. Deadhead, taking your truck into the shop, you going to your girl house on the weekend, you bobtailing. I'm talking tracking all miles your truck moves. Hub miles, okay? From January 1st to December 31st. Gross revenue divided by miles. It's going to spit out your gross per mile. And that's the number that I'm talking about. Don't sit up there and lie to yourself. Don't be trying to fluff your numbers up. You got to be real with yourself. Keep the spreadsheet on your truck, and it's going to tell you exactly what your truck is doing. Okay? Don't be trying to fluff yourself up, man. I get $8 a mile. Yeah, whatever, man. Whatever. You ain't getting $8 a mile bobtailing to get your truck washed. You ain't getting $8 a mile bobtailing to Walmart. Okay? You ain't getting $8 a mile because one week you was mad because the freight wasn't paying good. One week you decided to deadhead home. You decided to deadhead 500 miles home. You ain't getting $8 a mile. Okay? Because I know some of y'all deadhead. Okay? And so once you factor in all miles your truck moves divided by your gross revenue, it's going to give you your real cost per mile, your real cost per mile, your real gross revenue per mile. That's the real number, the true number. And that's just what it is. 10K a year on fuel, driving an older piece. Kevin Rutherford, yeah. Yeah, Kevin Rutherford know what to be talking about. If I was to buy a truck, I would buy a pre-emission truck. Because I'm not in a hurry. Okay? If you're in a hurry, then you just randomly buy any random truck on the road. But you're not in a when you're not in a hurry, you can take your time and go out there and fish through old trucks, and you can buy the truck, let it sit at the yard, and have a mechanic take a month or two rebuilding the truck. Okay? And so, yeah, I would buy an older truck, like a 2002, 2003 Columbia, Century, something like that. Something with a Detroit Series 60 in it, or something like that. You know, you can get that truck rebuilt. You can go buy a rebuilt motor for about 15,000, something like that, 18,000. And that's to me is a better deal to me. You're gonna make that money back in a month. You know, you can get you a rebuilt, refurbished Series 60 engine, spend about 15,000 on it and be done with it. You got a solid truck. That's it. Done. You know, that's what I would do it. Find your old truck, pay about 5 or 10,000 for it, let it sit at the yard, find you a mechanic, and he'll rebuild the truck for you, or he can tow it to his shop and he can rebuild that motor, put a new motor in it for you, and you can just take your time. You know, you can take your time with it, you know, but if you desperately need a truck and you got to pay your bills and all that, then that ain't gonna work. You can't sit there and wait 3 months for this guy to rebuild your truck. You can't do that. You know, you can't do that. So that's how I would do it. So that's another way to get a truck. But most guys who want to get a truck, they're not looking at it like that. Most guys who want to get a truck, they want a truck now, today, in the next couple of days. They want to run to a dealership, sign a couple papers, and drive off with a truck. And to me, that's not a good idea. That's not a good recipe when we talking about business to make money with a truck. Gotta go in here and get this paperwork. I think they do through Loading Me. But hey, everybody want to call, stop. You know, hold on. Let's see. But yeah, so